Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to talk about Barbie series, specifically Barbie A Touch of Magic. Now I know this is like the third Barbie series, but I thought this would be more interesting. Now if you want me to talk about Barbie It Takes Two or Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures, let me know in the comments below. Now I know a lot of you really don't like the new Barbie and its new version because it just doesn't hit like it used to with the nostalgia. Believe me, I know. I'm one of you. I grew up with Barbie movies in the 2000s. Believe me. My favorite Barbie movie is still Princess Charm's School or Barbie Musketeers up to this day. But of course, I had to check out the latest version. I mean, it's not for us anymore. It's for a new audience. And while I do have some grievances in relate to this, I really think you guys should give it a chance because it's not as bad as it people seem to make it out to be. But hey, that's just my opinion. People should at least give it a chance before judging. It may not have been the same type of Barbie that we grew up with, but it does have consistency and overall plot. It makes for a good Barbie journey. We'll be talking about all the other Barbie series in other videos. For now, let's talk about Barbie A Touch of Magic. And we really need it. So the show premieres with Barbie returning to Malibu, but this time the other Barbie is with her for the summer and starting a new year because her mom got a new job apparently. Wow, lucky, huh? The convenient plot device is at work. Right in the very first scene, we're introduced to two new characters, Rocky and Peggy. Peggy is a magical horse who's going through magical horse puberty. That's sure gonna be fun. Which basically means her wings are coming in. On the other hand, we've got Rocky, who's a antagonist for the show. She's basically after Peggy for a permanent wish, which we will be talking about all of Peggy's powers later in the video. Of course, Rocky just has to be another magical creature because we can't have one and not the other. She's a glyph, basically a wannabe fairy. She has similar powers to fairies, but we don't know the extent to it. I guess they were just trying to add a new creature just to sell toys. Something that's not commonly used in media, but good enough for a toy that people might like. Also, side note, is it just me or is anyone else annoyed at the fact that Barbie's not wearing her iconic pink as much anymore? Back to the show. Brooklyn and Malibu just happen to find Peggy at the beach. Okay, is it just me or do stuff just happen to be coincidences for our protagonist? And you can't really relate to that because he just happened to be lucky and just happened to get into mysterious situations. At least these protagonists are actually thinking with their brain. I love how the protagonists are actually doing the logical thing for once and first off trying to find a home for Peggy or giving her to the stables to find a home, like somewhere she can actually stay instead of their houses, which has way too many pets. I really wish more shows starts out with the logical option and then have a certain circumstance that results in them not being able to go forward with it. Of course, Peggy doesn't get to stay in the stables for long because she causes disasters wherever she goes. Her magic is so haywire that she causes immense amount of chaos. And I for one think she's way more trouble than she's actually worth, so I still don't know how they could actually keep her. Eventually they decide to keep Peggy, of course not in their own house, but at Ken's, who does not have a pet. Also, how do they have so many pets? Isn't pet food like really expensive? So Rocky is definitely the antagonist of this season, and she's definitely very powerful, but she does have her limitations, and there's a certain magic system that prevents her from doing whatever she wants. For example, if she gives her word to do something or says she won't do something, she is bound by that promise and she cannot break it, otherwise unintended consequences will happen, such as losing her powers. Her character can be really relatable at times, and then other times she's just plain annoying and cringe as hell. Like she's being so sus. Why can't you figure it out? How hard is it to figure it out? And mind you, they know someone was chasing Peggy from the very first episode, but they did not realize it was Rocky because they're blind, even more blind than Adrian. That, and also because she's got some other powers where she can literally do anything with magic, including erase people's memories. But again, there are limitations, such as once they figure out their memories are being erased, she can no longer use that power on, which is actually pretty effective. But I'm getting way ahead. Rocky eventually meets Brooklyn and Malibu face to face, although they don't recognize her, and it's not because of some dumb miraculous blindness, but because they actually didn't see her face. Although something that annoyed me was how they approached Peggy's situation and how nonchalant they were about it. They know for a fact somebody's after her, but she's out all in the open. Not only that, but they haven't actually tried to figure out who's after her or even focused on where she comes from, trying to send her back. Especially since she's caused so many problems already, and it's best to get rid of her as soon as possible.
Emotional, damn.
I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be a lighthearted show about family and helping people, and it's more kids friendly, but still be a little bit realistic. Ken is awesome as always. He's just as supportive and sweet as the Ken in Barbie Life in the Dream House, offering a place for Peggy to stay without hesitation. That was like super sweet. And speaking of Ken, I hate how even though we've seen several shows and movies with the same animation in the same universe, we still don't have a good dynamic with Barbie and Ken, or their relationship develop more than friends, and barely as friends either. To be honest, we can see that Ken is falling for Barbie very subtly, but he is. Unlike Barbie, who is blind as Adrian, not to mention a bit hypocritical. In the episode 5, Peggy not Barbie got mad because Ken hid the fact that Peggy was missing, but she did almost the exact same thing by not telling him or her friends about Peggy in the first place. But what I like about Barbie and not other protagonists in other series is the fact that she owns up to her mistakes, she understands it, and she makes up for it and apologizes, and does not repeat the same mistake more than once, or learns the same lesson again and again and again. I'm looking at you, Marinette. I think many of us can appreciate that, especially in the recent shows. Nothing plot heavy happens for several episodes. It feels like it's just dragging along. Each episode, Rocky tries to do something but ends up failing and erases their memories so they never find out. It's getting a bit repetitive. Up until episode 9, where Barbie, Malibu, and Brooklyn both find out there's an out-of-print book about Mesmer where Rocky and Peggy came from. Isn't that a coincidence? But of course, it's not available because nothing can ever be easy. Apparently, a human author, knew so much about Mesmer and wrote basically everything down on a book, but it's out of print for some reason and not available online or anywhere. Except, of course, the library where every single book could be. That's why libraries exist. I'm so annoyed at the fact that most people don't even go to libraries anymore, especially as a reader myself. I am very sad to see that. The book is found eventually thanks to a not so helpful librarian.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Rocky follows, of course, and now more and more people are getting suspicious about her. Teresa, Skipper, Brooklyn, a lot of people are starting to get really suspicious about her, and I'm pretty sure they're going to find out soon, but they're going to try to drag this along a little bit more, of course. They have to for the plot. They finally realize how dangerous Peggy's magic is. Why didn't you figure that out 2 episodes ago? So they stop using her wishes, but of course, Chelsea being Chelsea is not not going to do that and disobeys, leading to another magical creature. Now this is something I don't understand. Is she the magical creature that she takes out from her book? Is she a real elf or is she just someone from her book? This plot does not make sense to me at all. I find it extremely suspicious that a normal human has such detailed knowledge about Mesmer and apparently does not remember how she got back in the first place. It seems that they're trying to make it similar to Barbie Very Secret, but I feel like she's not all who she says she is. We finally figure out what Rocky is actually after. So she wants to wish a permanent wish because glyphs cannot have their own wings. They have to earn them through some task or something. Here's the thing. Rocky wants to take the easy way and cheat, basically like an exam. As Peggy's full-fledged wish is going to be permanent, she can have her wish of having the wings she wanted. We now know what motivates her, but is she really that bad? I mean, it doesn't seem like she's that bad of a character. I mean, like in terms of person and morality, but she's still trying to take the wrong way to success. Although I find it a bit unfair that Peggy has her wings grow out while glyphs don't have her wings grow out. That's kind of unfair, isn't it? But then again, life's not fair. Apparently, magical creatures can sense other magical creatures even if they're in disguise. So the magical creature summoned from Chelsea's book was able to identify Rocky as a glyph. But of course, again, she can erase people's memories. But apparently, it does not work on elves or elfies, whatever they are. So there's another limitation for her. And OMG, the romantic tension between Barbie and Ken is so cute and adorable. I sense jealous Barbie right there. Even Skipper can see the romantic tension between the two. Barbie and Cole are closing in on Rocky's identity, but they're not the only ones looking for her. The Glyph Council, aka the law enforcement of the magical community, decided, well, it's time to do our job. When the Glyph Council was first introduced, my thought was it's entirely made out of glyphs, but no. The book elf Elfie, a random Pegasus, a glyph, and a bunch of other creatures all mixed into one as the Glyph Council. Also, glyphs are explicitly discriminated against for some reason. I don't know. Episode 9 is everything for Barbie Ken shippers. We finally got them talking about their feelings and actually admitting that they do have feelings for one another and they want to take a step forward in a proper healthy way. Like a trial date, and we get an actual date for Barbie and Ken. That is like everything throughout. If you've seen all of this series, you've been hoping for this for a while. They have been really good friends for quite a while, and Ken never overstepped his boundaries. He's been super sweet and supportive. Unlike the movie Barbie, where he just cannot take a hint and then gets mad about getting rejected. On the other hand, this Ken, he's like, even if it doesn't work out, we can stay friends and it'll just be a trial basis and whatever. This Ken and the one from Barbie Life in the Dream House is the perfect guy. Wish they actually existed in real life. Comment below if you guys ship these two. And if you're still watching this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Our first look at Barbie and Ken date. Although it's super awkward at first, it keeps getting interrupted. Mostly because of Rocky and also because plot convenience. The biggest problem I have with this episode is that they don't remember anything at all. After the entire episode, the whole day, they don't remember anything, why they were there or what they were doing there. None of that, which means they don't remember the date at all. So basically, this was just another what if episode, like it never happened. After that episode, they never bring up their whole relationship ever again. So basically, it was entirely pointless. We're introduced to yet another villain, a lizard. Yes, you heard right, a lizard. What happened to warlocks or wizards or powerful creatures? What happened to actual threatening villains that we saw in previous shows and previous movies? What's a how is a lizard the most threatening villain there is? Then again, he could be Maleficent's brother. With the introduction of this lizard, aka the final boss villain, we finally have the finale of season 1, Touch of Magic. Barbie and Co finally realize all the times their memories were erased thanks to Rocky, and realize that every time they did forget something, it was when Rocky was around. The confrontation we've been waiting for this entire season, we finally get it. And we're moving into the climax of the show. Finally! Honestly, it's about time. Honestly, I got tired of seeing Rocky fail again and again with no attempt to move the plot forward. Rocky eventually captures Peggy and leads him to a unknown island. Turns out the lizard tricks Rocky into getting Peggy for him, which means the actual Glyph Council still doesn't know what the heck is going on. Also, Trey just waltzed himself into the gang. He's not exactly a friend, but when they really need him, he's always come through for them. Basically an honorary member of the gang, which makes for a really unique and interesting dynamic, especially since you don't really get to see that in many shows. And when they do, it's because they've done a complete 180 of the character. Back to Rocky. The way the writers are portraying her is like she's willing to do the wrong thing, but not that willing that she's gonna put somebody's life in danger. With the way she says, hope we can be friends, so she's basically doing this out of desperation, which she admits to Barbie and says she just doesn't want to feel left out and fit in with the rest of her kind. Does it justify her actions? No. But does it make us understand her better? Yes. Back with the gang, Barbie, Ken, and Brooklyn go after Peggy, all the while discussing what happened during their specific date that they apparently forgot, and truly have a heart-to-heart, sharing their feelings. Just as they're about to share their feeling, Brooklyn comes in and interrupts them. I seriously hate her for that. Honestly, I feel like Brooklyn is getting in the way of these two. I feel like they gave most of Ken and basically every other character's screen time to Brooklyn unnecessarily. Meanwhile, on the island, Rocky is not as dumb as some secondary antagonists. That and that the lizard had terrible acting skills. Immediately picking up that something is wrong and refuses to give Peggy. She's a perfect combination of desperate, powerful, and misguided. If she wanted to, she could be a powerful ally to Barbie and Co. Let's talk about our endgame villain, the lizard. This lizard is supposed to be so powerful. Seriously, the only threatening thing about him is he has a dragon. He had a dragon the entire time. He could have gotten off that island whenever he wanted, but he had to take the complicated route. Also, the Glyph Council literally shows up last minute, pushes him away, and then disappears again, saying, oh, I have to go take care of that stupid dumb lizard. Except she doesn't actually do anything. Really sloppy way to make Barbie and Co important and wait for them to fight off the lizard. Honestly, feel like this finale was extremely rushed and not well planned out. Barbie and Co gets put under a spell. All of them are frozen except for Barbie and Rocky, of course, aka main protagonist energy. They're each dealing with their own battles and own perspectives, specifically how they need Barbie in their lives. I especially like this about this because we get to see each of their perspective and how Barbie means to each of them. While all of them are dealing with their own nightmares, Barbie and Rocky are trying to figure out how the heck do we wake these guys up. I love how instead of Barbie being the one to just get them out of that mess and saving their behinds, they get themselves out of the wizard spell. I also hate how they made Rocky totally useless. Sure, she tried to save Peggy using her magic, but in the end she lost her magic and now she's kind of useless because of the super glyph promise or something. Apparently Barbie is the key to everything because of course she is. I seriously think that half of the stuff that's going on in the finale are being taken out of their hats because the writers don't know what they're doing. They're just randomly putting stuff into the finale just for the sake of wrapping it up, which half of it doesn't make sense. Like, how the heck is Elfie from Chelsea's book part of the Glyph Council? I thought she was just part of the book. It makes sense if it was another Elfie, but no, it's the same one. And that's further cleared up in the later scene. Peggy's mission on Earth is finally revealed, which they didn't really explicitly explain until this last episode. Apparently, she was supposed to find someone that believes in magic so much that she is the key closing Mesmer's doors forever. to prevent any non-magical creatures from entering, basically anyone who does not have wings, aka only humans. Why was this not emphasized more? Why wasn't her mission emphasized more? They literally dragged it out plot, or rather did not develop it enough to make it more important. Like, we don't care. Maybe if they had revealed it step by step or in each episode a little bit more, it would have been more interesting and we would have cared more about it. But they literally left all the important stuff for the last episode. Why didn't they mention a key before? Why didn't they mention her mission before? It was literally so vague and impossible to comprehend. Totally hate how they basically told us the plot instead of showing it. The ending felt so rushed. It not once was anything from the finale actually mentioned throughout the season, except for Peggy being somewhat important, her vague mission. That's it. How the heck is Barbie able to block out the wizard's powers? She does not have any magic, or does she? Rocky finally gets her wings after helping the gang. Although they're not that impressive. I mean, she gets 2 pairs of wings on her shoes. That's it. That's like flying shoes. Oh, and Teresa did what Barbie and Co took 5 episodes to do. I'd give the finale a 5 out of 10, honestly. While I get why they couldn't make Rocky a complete villain, they had to make her a redeemable character, but they spent literally no time developing the magical system. It felt as though they were making the plot as they went on. I honestly hate Will the Wizard. He is one of the most annoying characters ever. And I've seen quite a lot of annoying characters in the Barbieverse. Honestly, I feel like Barbie It Takes Two was a way better show. The writing definitely has room for improvement. And let's just hope they improve on it in the next season. But anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. Let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on the series. Forget to like and subscribe. Bye!